Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The View from Here, Behind
Yes.
Enemy Lines. I heard today, by the way, that the Biden administration has made a deal with Mexico to keep the border closed until the election. Apparently, they asked Mexico to stop the immigrants coming over, and Mexico said, why? And Biden, of course, not being a good, or Biden's people not being good, how should we call it? They gave him $20 billion to do that, which coincidentally happens to be the amount that Democrats said would cost to build a fucking wall, which they said was too expensive. So I'm just putting that out there. You people can make up your own minds as to whether or not this is worth it.
This is something that you've straightened me out on more than once, so I should do it to you. They're not immigrants. They're trespassers. They're felons.
No, well, they're immigrants until they get here. Then they are invaders. They're immigrants when they get to Mexico. Once they cross the Mexican border into our country, they are fucking invaders. They shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry. I have to apologize. I almost forgot that we should start with a happy thought from Mike's happy thought.
I'm really unhappy with these happy thoughts because they were supposed to be stupid, and were pretty good.
Well, the first two you read to me before we ever did it on the show were pretty damn stupid.
Garbage. They were garbage, and they're still in here. So garbage is.
We'll get to them eventually. Who knows? Maybe by the time we get to them, it'll have some meaning for the show.
And I did pull out a happy thought for somebody. I forgot. I think it was for my boys. And so I don't know if that's in here or not, but that was actually okay too. So that happy thought was make every tiny victory, celebrate every tiny victory. That was the happy thought that I pulled out before.
Okay.
For my sons.
Celebrate every. Well, that's not a bad thought, actually.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. These are really freaking bothering me.
You hate anything that's optimistic. Okay. And have you picked one out yet? Yes, you have. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you kindly read it to us?
This is on the fringe of being bullshit. Life is better when you're laughing. I guess that explains Kamala Harris.
Any laughter? Okay. Yeah. Life is better when you're laughing. That is very true. And you know what? I think that's what keeps us.
Not if you're a Hebephrenic.
No. Not if you're a what?
A Hebephrenic.
Hebephrenic.
A Hebephrenic is a person who has uncontrollable laughter, kind of like Renfield in the horror movies.
I understand. All right.
Yeah, no. That's a problem.
Well, yeah, like Kamala Harris too.
Yeah.
The cackling wonder.
Yeah, they. By the way, on YouTube, there's a thing called Gigglin's Island, which is about Kamala.
I sent you that. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Gigglin's Island. It's really good too. I totally enjoyed that. Yep. So I suggest people look for that. I'm going to try and put a link in the show notes later, if I remember. Okay. So.
Oh, by the way, Kamala Harris has publicly declared that the reason why leaving Afghanistan was a failure, she's blaming Trump.
Of course, she's blaming Trump for everything. She blamed Trump for
even though that happened
jobs being lost. What?
Even though that happened during her administration, and they're the ones who okayed it. If it was just as the
mandated shutdowns were implemented under this regime, and 10 million jobs were lost. She's saying that 10 million jobs were lost when they got into office. Yeah, when they got in and they did shit, then they were lost. Well, then I saw a video of Trump saying we're going to have masking, but I don't, it's not going to be mandatory. It's going to be optional. I myself am not going to wear one, he said. And he was talking about, what the heck was it? The vaccine, how he wanted the vaccine. But it was going to be a voluntary thing also, not a mandate like Joe Biden. We've been patient so far, but we're running out of patience. Fuck you, Biden. You ran out of brains a long time ago. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, it's just that these people they're constantly pushing the envelope, and if they ever do break our resolve and being peaceful, they're going to regret it.
Yeah.
But
By
I
the
mean,
way, yeah.
any news about the Hells Angels?
No, I haven't heard anything about that lately. I haven't checked the.
You know what that means, don't you? That means
Who?
that you know what that means, don't
It
you?
might have been bullshit.
You're doing good. You're doing something good because they only want to undermine them. Also, that recent shooting, I forget that it was in
Oh, you
Georgia.
mean the latest trans shooter
Yeah, something like that.
in Georgia?
But anyway, yeah,
Four
Georgia.
kids.
The thing is that what they haven't been reporting is the fact that 2 security guards faced him and took him down before they could do any more, kill anybody else. But they won't report that a good guy with a gun stopped this person from murdering more people.
Yeah, as it was, he murdered 4 people. He wants to be a she or something, right? I forget.
Well, he's
Or
not
the
dead.
other way around. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter.
So he's gone from a gender.
Well, he's gonna be
No, we're talking about somebody who's dead. He's been shot and killed.
who?
We're talking about 2 different things.
No. I'm talking about the latest one a couple of days ago. The guy in Georgia, he was captured.
Oh, there's another one?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that? He killed 4
Oh,
kids.
wait a second. Oh, yeah, you're right. He
Yeah, and this one, somebody pointed out that he looks like Thomas Crooks.
Well,
No. I'm sorry. I'm getting that confused with somebody else. There was a guy on the street talking to somebody else, and he's talking, and this Biden supporter, Kamala supporter, is walking by, right? And the guy points at him as an example, says, "Look at this guy. He's probably never lifted a weight in his life." And the guy turns around, starts charging at him, and comes up and stops short.
Oh, you mean the soy boy? The soy boy?
That?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
And then as he went away, the guy said, "You look like Thomas Crooks."
I remember that. It's just
by
that.
the way, I have a newfound power. It's part hypnotism, part mind control. If I snap my fingers, you will forget you were ever gay. See? You don't even know that you were gay.
Well, I wasn't, so there's nothing to forget.
See? See? There you go.
That's how it works. No.
No. Hey,
Because I have no.
yes, you have no recollection of it. Yes.
Being that way doesn't mean I was ever that way.
Because you have no recollection of it. Because I snapped my fingers and I
Carry
took
on
it
some
all away from you. I have cured you of your gayness.
Go to New York and fix the balance there.
I can fix. Well, no, there's only one way to fix the balance there, and I'll probably get thrown in prison if I voice it.
Well, fortunately, we're not important enough to listen to, so that's our defense. Well, when the bigger the resources, the more picky you and they're going to be.
Yeah. Let's see. What else was I going to talk about? I wasn't really prepared for anything today. Kamala Harris is probably the first DEI presidential candidate. All right, she came out of nowhere. She's done nothing. You know what? Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it was the Kenyan and not the Canadian-born Indian who wants to be black to get the black votes. Who was the first?
The thing is, I voted for him because I thought, let's see what a black man can do. It's not a very good reason.
Yeah, but
the thing is,
it also set back black people because of that. Because of his.
Here's the thing: who was he running?
He was
voted. Who he ran against?
Oh, he ran against 2 idiots. He ran against McCain, the warmonger McCain, and he ran against the jerk-off turncoat Romney.
Yeah, I didn't like either of those. So that's another thing.
Yeah, McCain was a phony. He, they called him a war hero because he'd been a prisoner of war and so on and so forth.
Well, the
But
moment I saw that he had a
I've
picture
heard,
up, yeah, the moment I saw he had a picture up with Clinton and the Bushes, I realized that I had made a mistake.
yeah, who? Obama, you mean? You're talking about Obama?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, they're in a lot of pictures together. I mean, not just because they're ex-presidents, but they are peas in a pod. Okay.
Yes, they are.
Although I think Michael Obama peas in that pod. All right, and I'm talking to an empty screen here. That's okay.
Maybe you'll be more lucid for a change. But the thing is that an interesting thing happened. I bumped into
There we go.
somebody who was speaking on behalf of the John Birch Society, who I never
that about that organization in a long time.
Right. So the point is that I've never really paid attention to them. I didn't know anything about them. I've only heard people malign them. But this guy, he convinced me that the John Birch Society is simply constitutionalist. And if you go to their site, they will give you a list of all of the votes that have been made by various senators and congressmen and give you a constitutional record, whether they voted for in agreement with the Constitution or not. Now, that's presuming, of course, that they're capable of judging that. But this guy, he seemed to know not just each Constitution, but how they integrated as mechanisms. And I was very impressed. So all I can say is that something worth looking into. I have been rather busy. I got this information Thursday night, so I really haven't taken the time out. But they're easy to find. John Birch Society. They've been around for a while.
Yeah, a long time. 50s, I think, right?
Yeah, 40, I think so. 50.
Oh, by the way, do you remember that little amusement park used to be on Route 22 in Scotch Plains years ago? What? Which one?
Beaucraft.
Beaucraft, yes. That I heard, many years later when I moved into the suburbs from Newark. I heard that it was owned by the John Birch Society, and some people wouldn't go there because of that, because they claimed that the John Birch Society was racist.
Right.
But they've also made those claims about the Proud Boys, and the Proud Boys are not racist. In fact, one of the heads of the Proud Boys is
Cuban,
a black man, a black Cuban.
Well, yeah, you could say that too.
Okay? And he is, I believe, one of the people who fled Cuba because of Castro.
Well, didn't they arrest him?
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the black man who led the rebels at the Bay of Pigs. I'm confusing him with that one. Anyway, yeah, there are a lot of Hispanic Proud Boys too. Okay, they're not racist, and there are Proud Boys who the head of the Proud Boys was arrested with January 6th. He's one of the January 6th political prisoners. He wasn't even in D.C.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that one of the ways that the communists have been taught to cause people to crumble is to make all of these accusations about them, and basically discredit them as being unwholesome people. Now,
well, as Lenin said, by the time the truth gets out, the lie is going around the world 30 times.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And not to mention the truth will be on page 74. But the thing is that I haven't really deep dived into the Proud Boys, but I have yet to see anything that I would consider unacceptable that they've done.
Me too.
And that's true for a number of these quasi militia groups that have risen up throughout the country, like the Oath Keepers, who are simply
they're in trouble too for 9/11, right? I'm sorry.
You mean Jan 6?
The January 6th.
Well, the thing is that any strength that looks like it's capable of actually opposing them is going to be accused. It's like the 3%ers or whatever.
Yeah, these are organizations that the founding fathers wanted to exist.
Well, whether they did or
Keep
not,
the government in
we as
check.
Americans have a right to have them. These are people who have chosen to band together as a group, and as they understand the Constitution and the responsibilities of the American citizens, they choose to be the shield between the
An
enemy
oppressive, tyrannical government.
and our people. And
Yes.
that's so they're like the National Guard, only they're just a bunch of regular guys and girls, and because women are part of it too, that have chosen to resist. Or sometimes they even, like, I know the 3%ers were down in the Harris, Pennsylvania's capital, when
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg, and during the Stop the Steal protests there, they were actually running security for the protesters to protect them. And what happened was Antifa showed up, and when they saw that there was a militia group there to protect the people, they got back on the bus and took off.
Fucking cowards.
Well,
did you see that? Wait. Did you see that Antifa leader in Portland, Oregon? She was finally convicted of violence up in Portland from a couple of years ago. She's got to serve 14 days in jail. That bitch should be in Guantanamo.
14 days.
14 fucking days for causing destruction in the city.
I don't have a problem with that on one condition. We don't feed her during those 14 days.
Yeah. And not only that, the January 6 people, including that grandmother who happened to be in Washington, D.C. at that time, and they pinged her phone, found she was in the area. She's in jail. She's an 86-something-year-old grandmother. Okay?
Well, we don't see, the thing is, there's so much injustice today. You could just throw a stick in any direction and hit some of it. The thing is, we have lost the rule of law in this country. And people might say, oh, but there's pockets of it. That's not how it's supposed to work.
No.
It's supposed to work that the rule of law is supposed to blanket the entire country. Now it's being cherry-picked. Only when it suits the power base of a particular group does the law either be respected or forgotten. We are in Dodge City, and the problem is that, it's been engineered, So, you could say whatever you want about the Constitution. We have to remember that the Constitution was not written by man. It was written by God. That is a divine document.
Well, yeah, the Constitution basically is a protection of what God gave us naturally.
Right, but they see the men like they wrote the Bible. The Bible is not specifically the Word of God. It is a book that has been inspired by prophets and so forth and written down. So the thing is that we talk about the rights that God has granted us in the Declaration of Independence. That is a divine statement. That's saying that, this is not simply a contrivance of our intellect. This is actually what we know the divine spirit wishes us to pursue. That is a divine statement. That is a holy thing. And, and I know I'm going off on the deep end on this one, but the thing is that I understand they were just men, but so was every guy who wrote something in the Bible.
Yeah.
They were just men.
Yeah.
But they were.
And those men in the Bible had to write things in a way that the people of the time could understand. Okay. Like they say that Isaiah, I think it's the prophet Isaiah, the one who went up in the air and then came down. They say the way he describes it, it was like he was taking a spaceship up or some kind of craft up in the air, and then it came down and landed. But people wouldn't understand that in those days. So he said the angels put him in, I don't know what, and just raised him. He just said they raised him off the earth and then they brought him back down.
Well, if you want to see a very, very interesting series, watch Ancient Aliens by his last name is Hancock.
The 8-part series. Well, no, wait.
Yeah, there's
I saw.
one. Yeah, that's the one you want.
Ancient civilizations. Ancient civilizations.
No, it's called the Ancient Apocalypse or something like that.
Apocalypse. That's it.
Yeah. So the thing is that it's talking about, he talks about the presence of aliens and so forth, and the fact that there are characteristics, like there are structures throughout the world that carry the same characteristics, and they're thousands and thousands of miles apart from each other.
Could not have communicated in those days.
Yeah, and these are ancient, and some of these things are just impossible. There's this section, I believe it's in the Philippines, where it appears to be a mountain, but it's literally a big mound and of these rectangular chunks of stone that's been grown over.
Okay.
So it's like if a whole bunch of these large railroad ties were just dumped, 10, 20, 30,000 years ago, and it got grown over, and it's considered a sacred spot down there. So there's also a section in Turkey where there's 15,000 subterranean chambers, which supposedly could hold up to 20,000 people. And guess what's underneath this entire complex?
There's another
water source. So
water.
These people actually had subterranean water, right?
Is that Gobekli Temple or something like that?
Yes, yeah, something thoroughly. Yeah, but the thing is that it's like 18 levels, in total, and then on top of that, you got water on the bottom. So it's like, I'm going, you really have to know your shit in order to be able to manage all that. And then you've got 18,000 to 1,800 of these chambers, and they're not small chambers necessarily, and they were for different things and so forth. So there was a city in the ground, and we're not talking about soft ground either. We're talking about stone. So it's like amazing stuff.
Everything carved from stone, and the figurines on some of the figures that are on those stones. Some of the figures on Egyptian stones in Japan, found in a lot of places all over the world, seem to show some kind of a tall, bearded race, of giants
with a
narrow head, or sometimes they have like almost. Well, the pharaoh actually wore a narrow hat in honor of whoever these people were.
And let's not forget the Sphinx.
But it looks like they found artifacts and everything that look like little spacemen.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, they found those same things in South America.
Yeah, all over.
They found pictures carved into the stone, what appears to be, according to one engineer, a rocket. That had like these various containers and and
the guys navigating in it, laying down like a
really weird,
an astronaut in the capsule.
Right. And the thing is that way long ago, the Sahara was actually a forest. It was forested.
And at one point it was underwater.
Right. So here's the point: the Sphinx has wear marks in it that appear to have been done by heavy rains. But those heavy rains haven't been around for thousands of years. So the Sphinx has got to be much, much older than originally thought. They thought it was like 4,500 BC. It's probably going all the way down.
Well, even the pyramids. And here, the Great Pyramid of Cheops, supposedly a tomb. They've never found any bodies in there. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the stones, there are I think it's over 1 million stones, or close to 1 million stones. And they said that for that to have been built in 20 years, as the archaeologists of record claim, that you would have had to put a stone in place every minute for those 20 years.
Well, the funny thing too is where those stones come from, because the local area couldn't give it.
Right, they were brought from a quarry a few miles away.
Stonehenge, those stones came from freaking far, far, far away, hundreds of miles away. I forget exactly where. And that stone doesn't belong there. Yet these massive pieces
Monolith.
of stone, which even by today's standards would be extremely difficult to move.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to believe that there was an advanced civilization that existed, and it got damaged by the.
Yeah, but like Hancock says, the people who are in charge of archaeology, they got their narrative, and that's what they want you to believe, and they don't want anything to disturb that.
Just like the Democrats. Just like the Democrats. The Democrats
Exactly.
have their little narrative,
Yeah.
and the idea that you're going to knock down that house of cards, it's upsetting, and that's one of the things that you have to be careful about when you talk to a leftist.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to see at some point that they're going to start getting nervous. Okay, and that means
They can't
that
answer
you're
you.
infringing on their intellectual contraption that they're living within. So you have to be really careful about that, because what'll happen is that then they'll start getting emotional, and then all of a sudden, if you bring logic up, it's just going to get them more riled. So that's the way it goes. I had
some young black people being interviewed, and they admitted on tape they did not know that the Republican Party was founded as an anti-abolition, an anti-slavery organization. They did not know that the Republicans were the ones who freed them. They did not even know that most of the black politicians throughout the 19th century were in fact Republicans, the vast majority. And it wasn't until Wilson came in and started giving blacks things that he started getting blacks over to the side of Democrats. Then that lie about Democrats are for the little man, this and that. Well, that changed back in the 60s under McGovern, where they decided instead of being the working class man, we're going to be the intellectual, the party of intellectuals. And they took over academia and let the little guy go. Except every election time, they come over and they say, "Hey, we're for you. We're for you." Did you see what Robert Kennedy said the other day? That the Republican Party is now the party of the working class.
Right.
This is Robert Kennedy from a family of diehard Democrats.
Right. And the thing is that that's what you and I've been saying for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the thing is that he has greater credence than you or I because of his name and his position. And also, to be honest with you, he has been very confrontational when it comes to the health of children and the health of the nation and vaccines and stuff like that. He has been very vocal and very strong voice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of his policies, but I agree with a lot of his other policies.
Here's the thing. Do you and I agree about everything?
No, of course not.
Right. Yeah. We're on gear as far as I'm concerned. So I ain't worried about
it. We're in sync anyway. Even though we have minor differences here and there. That's one way to tell the Democrats from the Republicans, by the way. The true Republicans, not the goddamn rhino neocons. I'm talking about because the Democrats these days march in lockstep. You cannot deviate in any way. The Republicans, and they always say, "Oh, the Republicans are fighting amongst themselves." This and that. Yeah, because there are policy differences. There are small differences. There are large differences between ideas of what to do with this or that, and that means that there's more freedom of thought in the Republican Party than there is in the Democrat Party. If you go against the Democrat narrative, the Democrat official stance, you are ostracized. Okay, that's why they don't like Tulsi Gabbard, and they were following her, put her on a terrorist watch list. And
you and I were talking about, I was talking about how the terminology that they use changes. Like there's terms like noble lie, which means that a lie that is made intentionally to perpetrate their narrative is considered noble. And the other thing is that so the thing is that their idea of a democratic / representative form of government is not the working class or the common man making those decisions, because we are the great unwashed. We're we're incapable of understanding the nuances of managing a complex society. No, their idea of a representative form of government is a few organizations, industries, etc., that have gotten together and are acknowledged by each other, and those 500 organizations, they're the ones making the decisions. They have gone to war against the kind of Capra style life, you know what I mean by Capra.
Yeah. You're talking about
the whole thing about
the
rights.
Jimmy Stewart film, the Christmas film.
You're right. Here's the thing. I had a disagreement with somebody clearly in this line of thinking years ago when I was going to school. And essentially, I had a falling out with him, and he ruined my GPA because he didn't like the fact that I disagreed with him.
So
I told him that he said what was most important is the good of the group. Okay, that comes before
collectivist. Yeah.
Yes, and I said that's not true. I said the group is only as good as the quality of each individual. Therefore, the good of the individual eventually reflects to the group. But we have to focus on
the individual's advancement or accomplishments or what have you are whatever is good for the individual. Eventually, that all builds from each individual. It actually helps the collective.
See, the problem with thinking of a collective good is it requires elitists to determine what the hell that is.
Yes.
And when you have elitists determining what a group should do, another term for it is tyranny. When you're having, because you don't want to go down that path that you're told to go down, and you have to do it anyway, because the fact of the matter is you don't know any better. We do, and you go. If a couple of eggs happen to get broken on the way passing through that path, that's just tough shit. That's for the good of the group. Okay.
Yeah, but individualism is what built this nation to what made this nation great. Okay, it wasn't a collective thing. No, not at all. People were free to have their own thoughts, to speak their own minds, to do what they had to do for their own happiness, and that benefited everyone. Okay, because people who made money, they had money to spend and created jobs and so forth, whether directly or indirectly, and they gave jobs to to people who couldn't make themselves wealthy, but were at least not stranded.
The purpose of the collective is to allow a few individuals to control it.
Exactly right.
But the thing is that the collective is not an entity. It is simply an ideology that is utilized to bamboozle those people who don't know any better, or to simply rationalize the wrongdoings of the elite.
And they keep us at each other's throats because they don't want us to notice what they're doing.
That's why they have to virtue signal all the time. They have to prove that they're virtuous by going ahead and putting on little demonstrations, little dances, I'm here to defend the midgets, So it's like, it's like ridiculous. That's like there was a lot of people making fun of the new, Snow White?
Oh, I hear it's a horror.
The actress that plays Snow White basically undermined everything that the earlier movie had, and they have animated dwarves, okay, because to actually have real dwarves, would be an insult, even though you'd be giving them a job, so it's like, the thing is that I'm not opposed to people being considerate to dwarves. I am concerned over the fact that you become so considerate that you eradicate an opportunity to interact with them.
Just as pushing for a minimum wage for jobs that aren't meant to be something that you should live on the rest of your life causes one, more unemployment to those people who need those jobs. Okay, and two, it increases prices for everybody, and most of those people who who frequent fast food joints, for example, they are not among the wealthiest of the populace. Hold on.
Yeah, but it ain't cheap. It's easy. It's more affordable to make your own meals.
Wait, what's that now?
Going to fast food places is no longer affordable. It's expensive.
No, yeah, it is, because I mean, now the workers who are now making $15 an hour can't afford an $8 burger. Okay.
Well, the other thing is that people are addicted to the chemicals they put in these foods.
Oh yeah, and you know, I recently found out. I've been finding out recently that the reason is that the tobacco companies, as well as the pharmaceutical companies, big pharma and big tobacco, have been buying up the food companies. So these conglomerates that control food, they were bought up by these people, and the big tobacco knew how to addict people to their products, the cigarettes. So they turned their scientific apparatus onto making food addicted.
You don't have to be a genius to get addicted.
Oh no, yeah, but there are so many people who don't realize this. Okay, they put too much salt, too much sugar, too many chemicals to get your endorphins going, so you want more, more, more. But it's empty calories, and you want more and more, and you're not getting any nutrition.
This grotesque obesity that exists now, where you look at people and they're so malformed that there's no human form there. There's just a bunch of, there's two legs, there's this blob, and there's a head and arms. It is absolutely disgusting. And yes, I call that fat shaming. And
that's what I call the fast food body. I used to call it the McDonald's body, but it's not just McDonald's.
You can't blame the food industry also. People have been told that it's okay to be that way, and that,
that's from government, and that's from the food companies themselves who are lobbying the government to say that. Right. Look at the food pyramid. For 30 years, it was inverted. And then they said, oh, we made a mistake. It's upside down. After 30 fucking years, you say that? Just like they said, eggs are no good for you. You got to throw away the yolks. Just eat the whites, this, that. And then they said, you know what? Eggs are really good. Eggs are one of the perfect foods.
Yes, it is. Period.
Okay?
And it's affordable. That'll kill you.
It was affordable.
It still is.
Eggs used to be down here, the price. Now they're up here. Thanks to Biden Harris.
It's still pound for pound. It's affordable.
Oh yeah,
you can get a dozen eggs for $3.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing is that 3 of them is a meal. So that's very affordable.
Well, you can make 2 of them a meal. Look, I make scrambled eggs sometimes with 1. Sometimes I got a little gnat here. Damn it. Anyway.
Well, the point was that eggs are extremely affordable, and they're a wonderful way to boost the quality of a meal.
Like you can add things to them.
In my salad, sliced egg in my salad. That really boosts the protein.
Yeah, sometimes when I make, if I'll make I don't make soup too often, but sometimes I'll make a chicken soup with real chicken broth there, and I'll throw in some orzo or pastina or something. And once in a while, when I think of it, I'll throw an egg in there and mix it up at the end.
You know, the thing is that if you go ahead and you get a couple of different vegetables that you can take with you, like a small salad, and you bring a couple of eggs, you've got a lunch, and
you've got the protein you need.
And I have an egg cooker. You can get these egg cookers that make 6 eggs at a time. So let's say you snatch 2 of those. That's 3 different meals, right? It shuts off itself automatically. It's not even an effort. So the thing is that...
Is that soft-boiled eggs they make, or hard-boiled, or what?
Depends upon how much water you put in the machine.
Oh, okay. So you can ask for...
I prefer hard-boiled.
See, you prefer hard-boiled? I like soft-boiled myself.
Well, none for you. Anyway, the thing is that, because I like chopping it up and putting it in my salad.
Yeah, that's different.
Now, here's the thing.
I
have eaten soft-boiled eggs, and the way I like eating those is with toast, where you can...
Got him.
Well, I'm glad we got...
Fuck you, PETA, and I mean PETA, PETA. Fuck you. I killed a fucking gnat. He was annoying me.
Well, PETA is really corrupt anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, they are. They're just as corrupt as a lot of these other places.
Let's get real here. There's almost no organization that doesn't have corruption in it.
PETA was silent when they found out that Fauci had made experiments on those dogs. Right? They never said a fucking word. They're hypocritical cocksuckers. They're basking in their millions, just like BLM. They got all those millions. Didn't do shit for black people.
Right.
And black people have wised up to that. Okay. Well, most black people.
Yeah. Well, one thing for black people, it cleared out their neighborhoods, so this way all the stores were gone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, now they have to travel to the malls or other towns to shop, and a lot of them don't even have a car or have to take a bus and spend hours on a bus back and forth.
God help
all that stuff.
In what is that? My God, that Pelosi city. Oh, what the hell is that?
Oh, San Francisco.
Yeah, because I mean,
totally ruined.
They lost their. The people there are crying because the supermarkets have left and everything, and it's just
the police chief, because he was taking orders from Pelosi and Newsom and all those Democrat politicians who said, no, let these people do what they want. We're not going to stop them, and if we arrest them, we're going to let them go anyway. So
Democrat, and he's first class. So not all Democrats are bad. This guy.
I'm talking about politicians, Democrat politicians.
He's a politician. He's a mayor.
You're mayor. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, he's first class because what he did was when they started, a bunch of people tried to set up a tent city, he brought a bulldozer there, pulled them out, bulldozed the entire ground so they couldn't use it. Good. And that was it, man. And we haven't had that problem.
Yeah, no, he's a good mayor. He's Democrat.
He's a Democrat. I voted for him.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He's a good mayor. Doesn't matter his party. He's looking out for the interests of the city and its people.
I met him at a pizza place, and my friend owns that pizza place. And I'm over there about to order something, and goes, this mayor's sitting right over there next to you. And I go ahead and I recognize him. I go, wow. I said, you the mayor? And I shook his hand. I said, you're doing a great job. You know what he said to me?
What?
The most amazing thing. He said, tell me what you want me to do.
Okay.
He put himself at service.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a great man.
That is a public servant then. Yeah.
Yes. I like him a lot.
Yeah. Not like these clown. Oh, did you see something about Alvin Bragg? Apparently got taped admitting that the Trump thing he went after was bullshit, that he knows that every real estate developer does what Trump did, and they just went after him because of this shit.
Here's another thing. Fannie Willis and her boyfriend that said that they said we're no longer seeing each other. So Fannie Willis kept on the case. They have new film because her son was doing something wrong, and the police said that she showed up at the event trying to talk the policeman out of doing it, and he's on his Steadicam. It's the two of them together. You're not together anymore? Well, what do you call that?
Right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And Trump apparently was at a hearing where he's appealing the decision to where he has to pay a few $1 million to that E. Jean Carroll, that lying cunt. Right. And they were presenting, I think people were, unless they were talking about, it separately, but they were talking about how she has a history of accusing people of rape all the time. Okay.
It's another form of the Me Too generation. But, the thing is that when you have corrupt people motivated and telling other corrupt people to do corrupt things for them, eventually, if people look underneath the rug, they're going to find some dirt. Okay. They're all guilty. That's like that son of a bitch down in Washington, Smith. I think his name is Smith, the guy that I forget his name. That's the problem. I'm not good at names.
What is he? What is
he? He had a big case. I'm sorry.
Jack Smith. Who has no authority to bring this lawsuit whatsoever.
Right. What happened was he wanted to reconstitute the case change the language so this way it would satisfy what the Supreme Court said was,
Yeah.
you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
So
I think he took out 20 pages of his 60 or 70 page.
The thing is that everybody knows, it's out in the open that he has no authority to even do this. So
yeah, but he's doing it anyway. What they're trying to do is drain Donald Trump's bank account to try and bankrupt him before the election.
Right, okay. But they didn't figure on Elon Musk giving him $40 million a month.
Speaking of Musk, did you see what Kamala Harris said about Musk? She was in some interview, I don't know where, and she was saying that, oh no, he's lost his privileges. They should shut him down. They should shut X down, so forth, because he can't be talking. Basically, he can't be allowing people to say what they want. She's against freedom of speech. She's against the First Amendment.
It's first of all, she's not opposed to freedom of speech. It's just that it has to be the right speech.
No, she's opposed to free speech. If it doesn't coincide with the official narrative of the government, she's opposed to it.
Well, that's the point of a fact checker. A fact checker doesn't check to see if something's true. They check to see if it fits the story.
Yeah, like that asshole David Dale in CNN.
I'm sorry, but there's a long list of assholes.
Yeah, there is. Do you remember when I think it was Cuomo, not Andrew Cuomo, he was the governor. Who was his brother? What's his brother's name? Anyway, the other Cuomo, the younger Cuomo.
The one that was the newscaster?
Yeah. He said one time, he went on a rant about how people should not be allowed to get their news from other sources aside from the mainstream media.
I agree with him. If I was a tyrannical little bitch like he is, then I would definitely not want people to get real information from outside their other sources.
You know, it was funny during the COVID pandemic lockdown, where he claimed to have been in his basement for, what was it, 2 weeks or 3 weeks with COVID. And then meanwhile, a neighbor had video of him coming out and so forth, in and out of his basement during that time. And then he comes out looking like the what's his name? The groundhog, looking into the sunlight on the 15th day or 21st day.
He's pathetic.
It was all staged.
He's Italian.
Democrats and the media stage everything. I mean, they staged the raid on Mar-a-Lago. CNN happened to be there when the FBI went in. Just like with Roger Stone, when they raided Roger Stone's house, he and his wife are both in their 60s. They're real threats, right? And SWAT came in, and CNN just happened to be there at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, okay, to see the whole thing. Because they want to embarrass people. They want to humiliate people. They want to scare other people into not going against them. They are using the force of government, unrestrained government, against the people of the United States.
They also need their proof to swing around and say, look, he's a felon, he's a felon.
Yeah. You know what? Just like the term racist, it's losing its meaning.
Well, the thing is that they may have established all these things to undermine Trump, to exhaust him, etc., etc. And what we've discovered is they're running out of tricks, because here's the thing. They're batting 0.
Yeah, well, they missed over in Butler, and they missed the other time a couple of weeks after that, and they're getting desperate. They're getting desperate. They're going to cheat.
They've been desperate for a while.
I'm saying it out loud. They are going to cheat in this election. They're setting it up. Why else would Democrats oppose the SAVE Act, which was another law guaranteeing that illegal, aliens, people who are not American citizens, cannot, or legally here, cannot vote. Okay.
Well, also, all the evidence that I see is that Kamala Harris is living up to her reputation of being the least popular vice president in history. She got no electoral votes, what she did run,
She
no
got no
votes.
electoral votes this time, and she didn't even run.
Right. So the thing is that the only reason why she's running for president is because the Democrats have usurped their representative form of government and gone into simply assigning who is going to run for president, regardless of the constituency. There is no Democratic Party anymore. There's now just the Democratic leadership, and the people in that group that are below them are simply
the strong arm
population for the purposes of bean counters. They're not.
All their politicians are strong arm. You have to follow what we say, or else.
They have no respect for their own people.
Yeah.
They're certainly not going to have respect for you.
No. All right. You know what? I think we're getting close to an hour here, 53 minutes. I just want to do one more thing. Let's just have a little fun here. Who lies more of this list? 1, the women of The View, and women I use the term loosely. 2, Rachel Maddow. 3, Daniel Dale, the so-called fact checker for CNN. Jake Tapper, he's the CNN anchor. Or late night TV hosts. Who do you think lies the most? By the way, all those late night TV hosts, they're getting their asses kicked by Greg Gutfeld. What are you looking for?
I heard a sound. So
you heard something. Rachel Maddow. I forgot. I forgot to include what's his name.
No, it's too late now.
No, the Vanderbilt guy.
Who the hell?
Vanderbilt's son. What's his name?
He doesn't count.
You know who I'm talking about. The white hair.
You can't use The View because it's not an individual. You went from a group to an individual.
Okay. Any member of Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar. Who's that Spanish one? Navarro. That fucking bitch cunt. I can't stand her even more than I can't stand Whoopi and.
I would say Joy Reid.
Who? Oh, Joy Reid. Wait, Joy Reid. That's another lying son of a bitch.
Yeah, I absolutely despise
her. She's on MSNBC. But yeah, you know what? Who's crazier, Joy Reid or Morning Joe? Wait. There's a third candidate in there. He's still screaming away he's no longer on the air, but he's still screaming away on X. That's Keith Olbermann. What a whack job that guy is.
Okay.
Anyway. Anderson Cooper was the guy I was talking about.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, I'll leave it up to everybody who's listening and watching to make up their own minds about who they think is worse. Maybe I'll put up a poll.
It's
I
just
don't know how many choices.
Once you reach a certain level of corruption, to actually weigh the difference doesn't matter. It's like, it's like the difference
like
between.
I said, it was a fun thing I was putting
out. I just, they all suck equally.
They should all be. They should all be black and paralyzed, so it doesn't happen again.
Let's use DEI. They all suck equally. Their outcome is the same, and their opportunity is the same.
No, that's not DEI. That's equity you're talking about.
Equally.
DEI means they were hired because of their skin color, or because of their sex,
right,
or because of their whatever. So, but equity, equal outcomes. They're all fucking liars.
Well, it shouldn't be DEI. It should be DIE.
Yes, it should. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that Kamala Harris is proof that DEI does not work, and so is Barack Obama. Although people are still,
they still hold him up as
because of the fact that he is elegant.
Come on, he's no more elegant than that one guy I told you about. I used to see years ago walking around in a white dress, and he had a Pharaoh beard on. Okay.
Right. You have to stop watching queer shit.
No. I used to see this guy walk by in person. I'd be outside on a cigarette break or a lunch break or something and go by. And I first spotted him because I saw the hips swaying and so forth. And then when I, walking down, it was going slow. I come by and I see that big, thick beard.
Right. Well,
really skinny, this guy too.
When I was stationed in Mississippi, we used to go to New Orleans and on a Saturday night, and it was pretty wild down there. And there was a big transvestite crowd, and they were walking around in the group in the area too. So you get used to them after a while, and they go in groups. And so you could tell that they were transvestites because they would be wearing very, very flashy clothes, sequin dresses and stuff like that. Yeah. And of course they had hairy chests and they had beards. So that kind of as far as I'm concerned, that broke down the illusion. So the thing is that I was with a friend of mine, Malcolm, from, let's see, he was from, oh my God, Southern country. I'll tell you later. And county. Jesus Christ, I'm lost. But anyway, he was from Arkansas. So anyway, the thing is that, so we're drunk, okay, really drunk. The kind of drunk that soldiers get into now and then. And the thing is that, so we're walking and Malcolm sees this guy dressed up with a tiara and a full beard, hairy chest, and a tutu. And of course it was a sequins tutu, all fluffed out and everything. And he had a wand with a little butterfly all in his sequences and stuff. All I can say is he had a special look. Anyway, the thing is, so Malcolm sees him. Malcolm was from Arkansas, and he had that voice that you would expect from a person from Arkansas. So, he stoops down low, and he's looking up at him, like he's looking at him, and he's going, "What the hell are you?" And now you got to understand, there's just 3 or 4 of us, and there's this pack of transvestites.
Jeez.
So the thing, and the thing is that at that time, not a good idea to confront these guys. So anyway, so this guy with this tiara goes ahead and comes up to him with that stupid look with the beard and the tiara and the thing. Yeah. And he's got the wand and he goes, "I'm a fairy." And he taps him on the fucking balls with the wand. He goes, "Make a wish." And we had to hold Malcolm back because Malcolm lost it. And that was that. Yeah.
That was very funny. That was a good that was a good way to handle it. Although I know Malcolm didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, the thing is that transvestites down in New Orleans at that time had a reputation of all basically being very dangerous.
Yeah. Oh,
because you know what? They're still full-grown men.
I know. Okay, there's a way now to avoid this problem about which bathroom to use. Okay, and you're still going to segregate men and women because some place put up a sign that said balls at birth and no balls at birth.
Okay.
I think that's a practical solution.
Well, you know what they say. Do you know why God gave women legs?
So they wouldn't leave a trail like a slug.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's not the joke that I know.
That's the one I know for years. Decades, I should say.
Why is a woman's vagina
so close?
Directly across between their legs instead from side to side? Because
yeah, I'd forgotten that one. Yeah. Oh, I saw a meme where they had that. Who was Skeletor? And he's saying, all I'm saying is that if we start hanging pedophiles in the streets now, they will make great Halloween decorations in October.
That is absolutely true.
I'm going to post that. I'm going to repost that.
Yeah, it would be nice to get these people before they ruin another life. That's for sure. If at all possible, they haven't gone too far off in the deep. I do consider pedophilia a mental illness. But at
Oh
the same
yeah,
time, you know, hmm.
and with a recidivism rate of I think 100%. By the way, did you hear? Dinesh D'Souza came out with the best tweet he's ever had. You know Dinesh D'Souza?
Yeah.
He said, because you know that Dick Cheney came out and endorsed Kamala Harris.
Okay, did
And
not
now
know.
all of a sudden Democrats think Dick Cheney's a good guy. After years ago of hating him. Anyway,
Yeah, Mr.
Dinesh D'Souza said, I think Dick Cheney endorsed Kamala Harris in the mistaken belief that what Kamala needs is another dick.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. I think we're going to cut it out here now. It's 9:53. It's past Mike's bedtime. I'll be up for another couple of hours. I'm going to try and find something else. Actually, I'm going to watch today's Mud Club, Steven Crowder show. I got louder with Crowder.
Okay.
And I'm going to watch today's episode. And maybe I'll find out. You know what? I saw a film last night called Dangerous. I thought it was starring Mel Gibson. He's in it, but he's not the main character.
I think I know who's in it. Female actress.
No. Oh, I don't know. The females, I didn't know any of the female actresses.
The one that's married to Affleck.
No, she's not in that at all. No. Jennifer Lopez, no. By the way, I hear she's filed for divorce. Anyway, the star was Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son, and he looks a lot like Eastwood when he was young, and his voice is very similar too. And he plays a guy he plays a psychopath who has, he's on parole now, almost on parole when the movie begins. His parole is almost over, but he is, he's at home, but he's got a bracelet on and everything. Then his brother dies. Now, he is a kind of person, he doesn't feel things. He doesn't feel good or bad or whatever. And he used to kill people, just kill people. Okay?
So he's immoral.
Who? Yeah, immoral. And he goes, but he's been fighting that with the help of his psychiatrist, Mel Gibson. And he goes to his brother's funeral, but thereafter, the FBI is not only after him because he escaped prison he escaped his cuffs to do it before he was really free, but he also left the guy hanging in his bathroom. He didn't kill the guy, but he left him hanging. And that's throughout the whole film. He's trying not to kill these people who come onto the island where his brother had this place and, are up to no good. I won't tell you why, but he's trying not to kill them, trying to keep them alive. He beats the shit out of them, breaks bones and stuff, and then he ties them up, but he doesn't kill them. He's trying to be good. And every once in a while, he'll pick up the phone and he'll call the psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist, meanwhile, has got his own problems. He's getting back on to being a boozer.
Mm.
It was a pretty good film. It was not a great film, not fantastic, but it was decent and it was enjoyable. So I'm putting that out there. It's called Dangerous.
Yeah. I definitely want to see it after you've given me half the plot. Yeah.
No. There's a lot more to it than.
I'm quite sure there's a vast amount of language associated with it.
I watched American Yakuza.
Okay. But you didn't watch any of the shit that I told you about.
Well, that's no. I watched Eastern Promises, but I watched American Yakuza, which is also with Viggo Mortensen.
Province is an amazing movie. It's
Eastern Promises. Yeah, I saw that the other day. And
there's a fight scene in there in a steam bath that just insane.
Yeah, that scene was intense. Anyway, fight scenes are always good.
No, they're not.
Well, not always, mostly good.
That one was extraordinary because of the situation.
You can make there are fight scenes that are really, really good.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, one that was historic was the fight scene in The Manchurian Candidate with Frank Sinatra.
I have not seen that one since the 70s, I guess.
Yeah, well, the thing is that it got a people thought it was too brutal, that it was too real to life, because these guys were doing anything they could to hurt the other guy. There was another one like that. The Man Who Loved Cat Dancing.
I never saw that.
Burt Reynolds.
I never saw that film.
Yeah. It's interesting. Jack Ward is actually
Jack Ward or Jack Warden?
Yeah, Jack. So the thing is that they end up getting into this fight, and they are literally torturing each other in the process of doing it. They're just doing whatever they can to not, just get them off of me. Get, like biting each other and stuff like that. It's no holds barred. It's just really brutal.
Jack Ward or Jack? No, there's no Jack
Ward.
Jack Warden. Yeah, I was confusing him with Fred Ward when you said Ward.
Well, you haven't seen the movie, But
Okay.
the thing is that that was a brutal one.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while you get something really good, but then you get these stylized things like John Wick, and I don't really like them because it just doesn't feel real at all.
No, of course not. It's all fantasy, but I like the first one better than the others.
Yeah, well, I had the same feeling with the Equalizer. I didn't particularly care for it, and now they have, of all people, Queen Latifah as the Equalizer. I mean, what's she going to do? Sit
the Equalizer?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, really. They just talk about, cultural appropriation. I mean, come up with your own freaking shit. It's like they ruined the Ghostbusters. They had these women.
Yeah. The film died.
They were all terrible. It's like, I'm watching this thing and 15 minutes into it, I go, I can't do this.
Yeah, Hollywood today can't leave well enough alone. You have a great film, leave it. You screw it up by redoing it because you're making it.
It wasn't just correct. That they redid it. It's they
making it woke.
The thing is, it is a guy movie.
Yeah.
Okay, and where are the men in the story?
Yes. Is this true? Yes, Your Honor, it's true. This man has no balls. That's lines in the movie.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But I mean, the thing is that, come up with your own adventures. Why do you have to act like a man in order to have a woman as a hero?
Yeah,
women.
And they're doing it. They ruined the Star Wars franchise.
There was an excellent movie. I'm trying to remember. There was this prostitute, and she overheard these maid guys. They were talking about they had to kill this kid. That they had killed the mother, and the kid may have seen something, so they had to kill the kid. Gloria.
Oh, Gloria, yeah. With
here's the thing.
She just died.
What?
She just died recently.
All right, but the movie's amazing in that she takes these guys down, but she's crafty.
Yeah, she's not a super fighter.
Yeah, and the thing is that, and also the bond between her and that kid. So the thing is, so we have a highly emotional. She's a mama bear. That's what she is. So the thing is, it's like, I think this trend to make women men started with the Terminator, when Linda Hamilton.
And Linda Hamilton did it good in the first movie.
She did it good, but the thing is that when you copycat somebody and you don't do it right, what do you get? You get imposters, and you get, it's like there was this thing called, I think, Salt, which was with
okay. Gloria, for example, Gloria is a better, more realistic hero than Salt.
Yes, by far. And the thing is that, I think this comes back to a political.
Matthew Moriarty, that's who played her.
That I think this comes back to a political thing, and that is that.
Oh yeah,
we as Americans have to stop thinking that we need to be a kind of person to resist this tyranny. We have to be the very best kind of person we are to defeat this tyranny. So whatever your resources are, your strengths, etc., just play on those, and do your best, man. Because together, I keep talking to people in the streets because I wear the Trump hat and stuff. And it's amazing how many complete strangers come out, thank me for wearing the hat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that there's more of us than there is them. And this bullshit that Kamala is tied.
It's all to prepare the grounds for a close election that they are hoping they will be able to steal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only thing
they've already said if they lose, they're going to be protesting the next day.
Well, what
it was Swalwell or that bitch in California, that pencil neck geek there, what's his name, the liar, who said they're going to stop the vote to certify the election.
Here's how it's going to go.
Which is what they were trying to do on January 6th.
If for some reason their mechanisms, their systems are interfered with, and the result comes out that the Trump wins, then they are going to accuse Trump and everybody else of throwing the election.
Yeah. And you'll see Antifa and BLM on the streets again.
And then what'll happen is that there'll be, anyway, and then if it goes the other way, then of course we are the insurrectionists. Here they go again. Here's the insurrectionists back again. I need smarter people than me to figure this one out. I'm hoping that Trump's people are, that kind of smart, that they understand the mechanisms that are there. They have the experience because, being smart.
What happened last time?
You have to understand the mechanism. You have to, like, if you're an electrician and Einstein isn't, maybe he should let you do the job. Because he's
smart enough that he would.
Right. So the point is that everybody has their own skill sets, but these political people, they know a lot of stuff that we don't. And
do you remember when Trump first won, when he first beat Hillary Clinton, and there were a couple of feminists, shall we say, who went crazy? The one that was screaming with the little hat cap on, and then there was the other one with the glasses. Well, this was her then, and this is her today.
Oh, okay. Very funny.
It does look like Waltz, man.
Yeah, but I call him Timpon Waltz.
I saw another meme. It's Rodney Dangerfield, right? He's going, "Oh crap! It's they them."
It's they them. Got it.
All right, I think we're running out of shit here, and we're just dragging. So why don't we say goodnight? Say goodnight, Gracie.
You ask me why we don't say it?
No, say goodnight, Gracie.
I don't know why we don't.
I'm saying, why don't we just call it a night?
Why should I know why we don't say it? I mean, we don't say it. That's all there is to it. And you have to accept that as a reality, that we're not going to say it.
We're not going to say it. I'm saying it. We're going to end this show. We're going to end it now.
Psychotic? You think you're a we? What are you, we?
You and I. No, you're right. You're right. You can't end shit. I'm the one who's going to end this because I have the button.
Yeah. Well, you can do with that button.
All right. Have a good night. Okay. Folks, if you enjoyed this, please share the episode. Give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, give us 4 stars. Share it with your friends. If you don't like us, share it with your enemies. And we hope to see you. We'll see you again next time. And you know what? We'll talk about next time. We're going to talk about Mike's game and what's going on with that.
Yeah, and we also hope that the opposite of our movement lives up to their name. So this way they left.
Leave them. I hope they're left by the side of the road in a crumpled smoking heap.
Mm.
All right. Good night, folks. We'll see you next time.